Introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Justin Winchester, 392298.
Right, Justin, I'm Brennan Kelsey, along with me is Ms. Cheryl Knotts and Mr. Tony Maribel will be your panel. I'll read some information to the record, ask you some questions. We'll have a pro interview. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
Justin Winchester, DOC number 392298, a fourth class offender. Parole eligibility date 5/15/2022. Good time date 5/17/2033. Full term date 8/15/2033. 15-year sentence. Possession, simple burglary, having dwelling, habitual offender, possession with intent to distribute heroin, and possession with intent to distribute alprazolam. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
Please answer, Mr. Maribel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Winchester, my name is Tony Maribel. I'm going to be asking you a few questions. How old are you, sir?
42.
And how long have you been in prison this time on these charges?
4 years and 6 months now.
Now, you know, in looking at your record, you've been arrested 10 times, 6 felony convictions. Your supervision history is extremely poor. Tell me what's been going on with you. Why all the crime?
Honestly, as a juvenile, I did some things, nothing I'm proud of. As a juvenile, I went good for a while, and honestly, I was playing flag football and I hurt my leg, and that's how I got introduced to drugs.
All right, how old were you when you were playing flag football?
31. I was going to Delgado Community College, and we had just started a flag football team.
Well, you mean you didn't do any drugs until you're only 42 years old. You've got 10 arrests. You've had 6 felony convictions. You didn't start getting in trouble till you were 31?
No, I was getting in trouble before then. Like I said,
get in trouble. Tell me about why you were getting in trouble. So it wasn't drugs, just a criminal?
I was a juvenile, not thinking for myself, hanging with the wrong crowds.
When you tell me about when you started using drugs.
I started using drugs. The first time I ever used a drug was marijuana. I think I was maybe 13.
All right, okay. Now we're getting a little better, okay? And how often did you use marijuana back when you were 13?
Honestly, like an everyday base.
Ah, okay. And so how you kept using marijuana all that time?
Yes, sir.
So when you were 31 and got hurt in flag football and you took a few pills, you'd already been smoking marijuana every day for years, right?
No. I'm sorry about you breaking up. I misunderstood the question. As a juvenile, I did it, but from I want to say from the time I was 20 up until 31, I was a different person. Like I didn't even care for it to try to even be high.
How old were you in 1997?
17.
That's your first felony conviction. You weren't using drugs then?
Yes,
you got
sir.
2 felony convictions then. You got a felony conviction in 98. You got another felony conviction in 98, one in 99, one in 2011, one in 2012. Now, you weren't on drugs. You were just a criminal. That was my question earlier. So drugs wasn't an excuse back then. Why were you committing all of this crime then?
I was a juvenile, not thinking for myself.
You're not a juvenile in 97 and in all of these. This is your adult record.
I was already by then. I was already how they say it, going off the horse and was using marijuana heavily by 97. By the time I was 17.
Well, just a minute ago, you told me no. You only did it when you were juvenile, and you waited till you were from the time you got out of juvenile facility until 31. You were clean. You said didn't do no drugs. Now, did I mishear that?
No, sir. I misunderstood the question. I'm sorry.
I don't think you did. I think you're lying to me. Now, this is the time for you to be honest. You're
Yes,
a
sir.
drug addict. Are you not?
Yes, sir.
You've been a drug addict since you're 13 years old. So don't BS me about, oh, I was clean all this time, played football, took some pills, and that's how I got caught in all of this. That isn't what happened.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's start over again.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
me about your drug use and what it had to do with all these crimes you committed.
Well, I once again, I started using drugs when I was 13, and during the process of using drugs, being with the wrong crowd, getting into all type of stuff, and constantly every day, I had no structure. I'm gonna say that I had no structure, and I constantly was just use drugs to hide pain, things that I've been through as a child.
All right, well, I believe that now. And how long did you do that? All the time during up until you came to prison this last time?
Yes, sir. But I did, honestly, I got a break, for maybe like 5-6 years before I had used the drug again, any drug.
I believe that you might have had some sort of program that you stayed clean for a while, but you went back to using drugs again.
Yes, sir.
Can we both agree that you're a drug addict?
Yes, sir.
How about alcohol?
Never was really my thing. I never was a drinker.
Okay, so when you came back to jail 4.5 years ago, were you using drugs?
Yes, sir.
What drugs were you using then?
Heroin and cocaine.
Heroin and cocaine. Okay. When did you start using heroin?
My first time using heroin was in 2012.
Okay, and how often did you use it after that?
Regularly. Maybe if we using a week time base, I would say at least every day.
Now, do you see a little inconsistency in what you're telling me now and what you told me about 5 minutes ago?
Yes, sir. I was using my juvenile, but I wasn't thinking we was.
I don't think so. I think you're trying to BS me. Now, let's talk about Blue Walters. You went through Blue Walters in 2019?
Yes, sir.
Did they teach you to be honest about your drug use and your alcohol use?
Yes, sir.
Why aren't you being honest with me today? I'm gonna tell you something. If you're honest with me and you tell me I've been a drug addict all my life and now I've got some programs, got some treatment, I'm a different man, I'm all for you. But you sit here and lie to me, that's what drug addicts do. I ran a drug court for 14 years. And when they continued to lie, I knew they were still in denial and they weren't on the right track. And I'm concerned about you because you weren't honest with me a few minutes ago. I had to drag all of that out of you. And don't tell me, oh, I misunderstood you. You knew exactly what I was asking and exactly what I was talking. So why did you come in here to lie to me?
It was never my intention to lie to you.
Don't tell me that. You knew my questions. You tried to make me believe you didn't start using drugs until you were in a flag football game and got hurt.
I mean, when I said that, I meant the drugs that I was currently using, like heroin, because before, as a juvenile, I never touched heroin. That's what I thought we were speaking on.
So tell me what other programs have you taken? What did you get out of Blue Walters? Tell me.
The best thing that I got out of it, I mean, I don't know how this may sound to nobody else, but the best way I can say it is to quote it to you. God grant me serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the power to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
That's the serenity prayer. That's a good thing to know. What did you get out of the program? It's a good prayer, and I hope you say it every day. But,
yes,
but
sir.
Tell me what you got out of the program. What tools are you going to use to stay sober?
First of all, upon release, if I get released, I plan on getting me a counselor. I say the wrong word. Was it right? Can somebody help me?
Sponsor.
Your sponsor, yes.
Yeah, what does the sponsor do for you? Tell me what you get a sponsor for.
to help somebody you could talk to when if you're feeling down or you're feeling like you may want to relapse. Somebody just to help you out every day when you need someone to talk to, that you can talk to about your personal things.
Where would you get a counsel? Where would you get a sponsor from? How would you go about getting a sponsor?
The everything I research, they have NNA classes on the streets, and also drug court programs help you get things like that too.
Drug court programs require a felony conviction. You want to go into a drug court program?
No, sir. I would love, honestly, sir, I would love drug court, because being in prison is one way of staying free from drugs. But once we get out, you know what I'm saying? We can't do it alone. Well, I can't do it alone. Nobody can. And I know drug court would be a great help.
How long were you in, Steve, Blue Walters?
It was a 4-month, 120-day program.
So tell me some things you learned. What sort of tools are you going to use? You said you're going to get a sponsor. What else are you going to do to stay sober?
Work the steps, stay focused, definitely change people, places, and things. I'm not going back to the same lifestyle. Getting a job, work, and also, like I said, take NNA classes, outside classes.
You taking any classes now? Are there AA meetings or NA meetings where you are now?
Right now, I'm on backlog. They had me backlogged for. I only been here a few months, and they backlogged me for classes.
Now you said that. I'm sorry.
He's back from substance abuse and living in balance.
You indicated that there was a time between the time you were juvenile and the time you came back to prison this last time that you were clean.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
go to AA meetings then? Did you go to any kind of programs then that helped you stay clean?
Yes, sir. The Odyssey House. I put myself in there a couple of times, and it was another place in Pineville, Red River.
Red River Parrot. That's an excellent program. You stayed in that program for 28 days?
I successfully completed it, yes, sir.
And when you came out, how long did you stay clean?
Little over a year.
They had an aftercare program. They had things for you to do and follow. Did you follow those things?
Not all of them.
Why not?
Once I got the program is in Pineville, and once I made it back to New Orleans, and I started working, I put my kids first. I'm gonna say that.
What do you mean you put your kids first? I mean, to me, you put your kids first, you work hard, you stay clean, and you try to provide for them. How did putting your kids first got you back into drugs?
Lost focus.
By wanting to support your kids, you lost focus.
Yeah, I was still working. I always have a job. It's just I didn't have the extra tools I needed. I'm gonna say that. Like I didn't have the sponsor. I didn't have the extra classes to support me and things like that.
You knew about those things. You had gone through one of the Red River was a great program back then. When it probably still is. I don't know. You had all of the tools. They gave you all the tools, but you didn't use them. So what's different now?
What's different now, because the tools that I learned from Blue Waters, and also being, especially at a camp like this, that teach you things, that show you things, that help you move forward in life. Meaning, I know I can't go back to the streets. I know being a part of the streets is not a part of my life no more. I know being around the wrong people, that's including family members and all, like that's not any good or anything no more either.
What can you tell us about Mr. Winchester?
Justin's only been here about 7 months. He has completed pre-release and we just made him a trustee about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Thank you. That's
All right, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yes, sir. I would just like to say, if given a chance, I know I'll do great. Drugs is, man, the things I've learned about drugs since I've been in jail and had time to think, man, I don't ever see myself dealing with drugs again. But I also say I beg for help, you know what I'm saying? Because I know once I'm released, you know what I'm saying, that's when reality really sets in. And I'm begging for help that once I'm released, I can take some classes on the outside and hopefully keep me focused.
Mr. Winchester, did you handle all of those traffic detainers that you had in, was it in Orleans Parish or Jefferson Parish? You have a detainer on your current still for a ton of traffic tickets that you never went to court on. Is that right? Isn't that what that is?
Yes, sir.
Have you handled any of that?
I did some paperwork on it since I've been here. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I found out it was some traffic attachments. My mom said when she talked to him, once I pay, I think it was like $1,800. The attachments will be off me, but my mom, she just had reconstructive knee surgery. She can't pay it herself, and like I spoke with her, I told her that's something I would have to work on once I get out and start working.
All right, thank you.
All right, now prepare to vote.
Yes.
Mr. Marabella?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Winchester, I think you're moving in the right direction. I'm glad you took the Blue Walters program. I think it's a program that is very good and it's very helpful to you. And I think that I don't know that it's really sunk in yet. I think it's helpful for you. It bothers me that you just misrepresented to me. I'm convinced you knew exactly questions I was asking you. You were downplaying your drug use. It's important for us to know that you're a drug addict. So to see what kind of treatment you get. One of the foundations is honesty. And you weren't honest with me. You're in some programs that look like they can help you. I think you need a little more help. You're moving in the right direction. You've only served 4 years on a 15-year sentence. But I think you're moving in the right direction. My vote today is going to be to deny, but I am encourage you to continue the program. So you're in some programs, you're backlogged right now for some, to get a better plan for your sobriety. That's my vote. I'm just
Ms. Renata?
I share the same concerns, Mr. Winchester, so my vote also is to deny. I believe you could benefit from more programs to better understand the significance of your drug addiction. But do that, take the programs, reapply when you're eligible to do so. Good luck.
And my vote today would have been to grant your parole with some special stipulations because of the work you've done, the time you put in. I think you're ready, you want some help, but you have 2 votes to deny and 1 to grant. Today your parole's been denied. Good luck to you.